Hey guys, it's Savannah. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is neutral Valentine's Day decor, but also decor that you can use year round and not just for Valentine's Day. So without further ado, let's get crafting. Okay, so for this DIY, you're gonna need one of these Dollar Tree hearts, and then I found these little stands at Michael's. They were around $5, and then I had a coupon, so I snagged two of them because I just love them, and I thought I could use them for so much. And then I start by removing that metal love sign on the front of this, and I remove the jute cord, and I caulk these holes to try to fill them up. And then my husband called me and I forgot to hit record, but all I started doing was just staining this. And you guys, I was really hard on myself my last video because obviously I knew I was out of frame a lot. So I did go out and buy something new. So let me know what you guys think about the angle of this video. Once I got done staining that, I set that to the side to dry, and then I'm just sanding down where I put caulk in these holes, and then I'm taking some white Waverly chalk paint, and I'm giving this heart a good coat. Again, not too heavy because I don't care if some of that wood shows through. I do like that look, but again, this is up to you. And I wanted to make these DIYs, I guess, everyday home decor friendly so that they can transition into something else. There I am giving a thumbs up because I'm super proud of the angle. And this took a few coats. I think I did go over it twice just because I did want it to be even. And then I set that to the side to dry. Then I'm taking that same brush and I'm just dry brushing over this with that white Waverly chalk paint because I'm trying to give it a distressed look. And again, I always like to go over and then with whatever color I'm distressing with, and then back over with the original color. So I'm going back over this with the antique Waverly wax and just doing that until I get a good, how I like it. And then, yeah. And then I wanted to give you guys a close-up. Look how pretty this is. I just think it looks so rustic and shabby chic. So I'm super excited about it. Once the front of this, well, technically the back of this heart was dry, we're not going to talk about the paper fight that I had right here. But I tried to get off as much as I could, but I'm just going in with my white Waverly chalk paint. And usually I don't worry about the back of things because, like I've said before, if someone comes in your house and starts turning things around, it's time for them to go. But since you would be able to see the bottom of this, I am giving the back of this a coat as well. I also go on the sides as well because I don't want this side, I want it to all be even and flow together. And then once that was dry, I'm taking this little chippy brush, which, Rachel, if you're watching this, I need some more. So let me know where you got these again, because I always forget. But I'm just going over this heart, no rhyme or reason, just putting some antique Waverly wax where I want, and then I go on the sides and a little heavier in some spots, and then I go back over it with that white to kind of blend it in. So then I'm just taking my finger sander and I'm just sanding around on the staining and, just trying to blend it all in and make it look more natural. And a lot of you guys have asked me about my little yellow finger sander. I got this from Walmart, but my friend Melissa from All Things Crafty, she's like the original OG of these. I happened to stumble upon mine in Walmart and I love it, but she buys them from Amazon. So I'll link her channel down below, and then I'll link this down below in my Amazon favorites. And then I'm just taking my hot glue and I'm putting it on the stand, and then I'm putting that right in the middle of the heart and then holding that for a second. Then I'm just taking my little distressing brush and I'm just going around on the back as well because I want this all to like blend in and be cohesive. Like I bought it from Kirkland's or Hobby Lobby, and I think this is so pretty. It is definitely a piece that you could keep out year round, and I'm absolutely in love with it. Today's video is a part of the Cupid Shuffle mini Valentine's Day hop. This is hosted by Yelena over at the Blondienextdoor. So in my description box, there is going to be a link to the next girl in the hop, and you guys can hop around to each of our channels, check them out. They are amazing DIYers, and let's get back into crafting. Moving on to our next DIY, I am taking one of these candle holders and I am taking some of that moss color Waverly paint, and I am just going all over this, trying to cover it, get it even. I feel like with glass, sometimes when you're painting with like a color, you do have to do a couple coats. I feel like with white, you don't have to as much, but I did like this green, and I feel like this is a neutral color that you could leave in your house year round. So I do that, and I'm going back over it again. This is the second coat after I've let it dry. Again, just trying to cover it all. So I left this part in here so you guys can get on to me about how much I need a a heat gun. But I was going to use this at first. This is from Dollar Tree, but couldn't get the sticker off. So plan B. I'm taking one of these like St. Patty's Day little square things. I sanded it off camera because there was glitter on it, and I didn't want to get glitter everywhere because we all know what a pain glitter can be. And then I just started painting it with my white Waverly chalk paint. Now, while that was drying, since you guys loved this paper that I used in one of my previous videos, I wanted to do it again, but use it in a different way. So I'm taking one of these Dollar Tree wood hearts. Again, these come in like a pack of 3, like stars, circles, and hearts. So I'm using the heart, and I just start by tracing it out with a pencil and then cutting it out. And then once I had it cut out, I hot glued it onto this wood heart, and then I wanted to trim it up a little bit more, so I just felt like it was easier once I had it on there that way, because I am not a straight cutter. I get very wonky, so I just used the wood heart as a guide, and I just found it was easier that way. So you can I'm taking my Cricut scissors because these are super sharp, and they're little, and I just feel like they're easier to cut with, so that's what I'm doing here. Then I'm just taking my chip brush and I'm going over this, trying to get the raised edges and distressing a little bit so it's not so white and it looks more shabby chic. And you guys, I love this paper. I definitely have to get some more textured scrapbooking paper because I love working with it right now. Then once this was dry, I was just putting another coat on here just because it was kind of textured with what was on it before, and I just wanted to make sure that it had a good flat canvas. It was all covered. Then while that was drying, I was just doing the same technique that I kind of did on that little stand before. I'm just taking the same brush that I used to paint the sign, and I'm just going over this, just dry brushing around. I know you can't see it right now, my hand's in the way, but I do move it. And then I go back over it with that same color, just, rubbing them in together until I get it how I like it. Then once this sign was dry, I'm going in with the chippy brush and I am distressing it, and I'm going heavier this time on the corners because something is going to go in the middle of it. And then when you take your brush, like the white Waverly brush that you have white paint on, obvious, duh girl, it kind of just blends it all in, and it does run some across the middle, but it looks more heavier on the sides, if that makes sense to you guys. You can kind of see what I'm doing here. I'm just playing with it and then running that base coat back and forth until I get it how I like it. And then I do just continue that technique like on the sides as well. That way it all, you know, goes together and looks formal and it looks like something you bought from a store. Then I'm taking this metal heart. I took this off a Dollar Tree sign, and I'm kind of putting this one to the side, and then I am staggering it with this other heart. So it's going to kind of sit like that, and then I just start by hot gluing those on there the same way that I had them laid out. Then we're gonna hot glue this to this little candlestick. So the candle holder. So it's like a stand. So, and this doesn't sit like, it doesn't cover the whole thing. So I just put mainly the hot glue on the front so that I could make those, like the sign flush with the stick. So it looks like it was, you know, made this way. And then I don't know about you guys, but I hate seeing like hot glue. So if it ever does come through on something, I always try to clean it up. So that's what I was doing there with that pencil. And then this little sawtooth hanger kind of poked out at the top. So I did end up pulling that off. You could do that at the beginning so that you didn't have to worry about that at the end. But that is it, you guys. And this is another piece that you could keep out year round. And I love how this came out. If you're enjoying today's video and you're new to my channel, I hope that you stick around and hit that subscribe button. And also to all my other subscribers, liking, sharing, and commenting on my video really does help my channel out, and it means the absolute world to me. I appreciate you guys more than you know, because I would not be here without y'all. Okay, so for this DIY, you're gonna need one of these Dollar Tree signs. And if you're wondering, this is the sign I got the metal heart from in the last DIY. So I just start by removing the hanger, and I take these staples out because we don't want those there. Just be careful, you know, don't hurt yourself. And then we are going to use the back of the sign. I'm not sure if I already said that, but if you don't know, now you know. And then I just start by giving this a coat of the Waverly chalk paint. Again, I like sometimes when the wood shows through on these kind of signs, and these signs are always so warped. So I always try to find the ones that aren't warped the most. But I don't know, I feel like it's a dime a dozen. Anyways, yeah, so just giving this a good coat and letting it dry. I do sand down where the staples go. I don't know why I waited to do this, but it kind of makes them flush with the sign. So if you ever have like holes after you pull out a hanger off something, definitely sanding them down a little bit will help them be less noticeable. So while that's drying, I am taking this Dollar Tree sign and I'm pulling it apart. I only want to use one plank. I remove the staples and then I flip it over and I start to remove the hearts. I do remove the hearts and I set those to the side. These have almost like a little wood piece on the back to give it a more 3D look, and I liked that, so I left those on there. And then we are going to give this board a coat of, I don't know what I'm doing right now. And then we're going to give this board a coat of the Moss Waverly chalk paint. And then once that was dry, I'm just taking my chippy brush and some antique Waverly wax, and I am distressing this. Again, same technique, going heavy at first and then back over with that first coat or that first color that we used. And then I set that to the side to dry, and then I'm taking this white one and I am doing the same thing, distressing and then going back over with some white, distressing some more, going back over with some white, and then I do believe I sand it down as well. Then I'm putting this plank in the center of this sign. Now, I wanted to play around with a few ideas. At first, I thought about, I'm measuring it right here. This is what I'm doing with the paint stick to make sure it's even. I don't know why I thought a paint stick was going to help, because I actually, which I'll tell you in a second. We'll wait for that part. Anyways, so I wanted to play around with a few different ideas. I thought about doing the grapevine hearts, and then I don't know. I felt like it was like too much. I don't know. But now looking back, I'm like, oh, that's kind of cute. And then I tried the metal hearts with one grapevine in the middle, which I think that's super cute now too. So these are just a few ideas of things that you can do, but I ended up going with just all three of the metal hearts. Honestly, I might go back and put a grapevine heart in there, because looking back, I'm like, oh, that's cute. So then I am going to hot glue this down. And then, yeah, just try to get it in the center. If you are smart and you measure things, I would definitely do that, because I didn't. So then I just laid those hearts on there, and then I am going to hot glue those down. Next, I wasn't going to do this at first, but I just decided to add this towards the end. I'm taking some of these jumbo popsicle sticks. You can get these from Walmart, and I'm sorry you can't see the bottom of this, but all I'm doing is just marking it, and then I take some scissors and I cut that, and then I grab another one and I mark that with a pencil and cut those as well. And then, so I skipped this part, but before I measure the other one, I did sand down the edges just to make sure that they were even, because sometimes when you cut these, they don't go straight. So I did sand those down as well. And then again, I'm just cutting another popsicle stick, same size. And then here's where my paintbrush measuring technique failed me. So it was crooked. I don't know if you could even tell, but to me, I could tell. So I did go back and take this off, and then I hot glued it down to where I felt like it was straight. So yeah, I don't know. Learned from my mistakes. Then I'm just taking some antique Waverly wax and my craft shirt that I use in my room for staining, and I'm just staining these jumbo popsicle sticks. Yeah, I did not need that much, girl. Jeez. And then staining the other one. And then once those dry, I'm kind of hot gluing them on the sides like it is, I don't even know what the word would be, but I just thought they added a little extra. And then I'm taking the hanger from the original sign with the metal hearts, and I'm using that as this hanger. So I hot glue those down, and then I take the end of those jumbo popsicle sticks and hot glue them on the back of the hanger just to like reinforce them and to make sure that this hanger isn't going to go anywhere. I don't know why. I just always like to do that. And then that is it. And I think this is so cute. Again, this is another item that you can keep in your house all year round. And I think the grapevine hearts would look absolutely beautiful as well. So let me know what you guys think. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you made it all the way to the end, leave a yellow emoji this time. Be sure to check out the next girl in the shuffle. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.